Hi everybody, it's Mike here again, Meandering Mike in the Man Cave of Madness. What do we have here? We have two more stackable, foldable bookcases. Pairs courtesy of the last trip to the old house. I'm just about ready to head out there for yet another trip. We have to be out of all our stuff out of that house by Sunday. And then we have a little time to get stuff out of the garage there, like till the end of September. But yeah, so it's been a lot of work. Still more work to go. There's two more sets of these stackable, foldable bookcase pairs down there. So before I look at what on the latest trip was, I did find some more of my old stuff. So more 4th edition added to what was here before. New stuff. More GURPS. There's more GURPS in 4th edition elsewhere. I think there's some upstairs already. Found some of my Harn stuff. That's the like 3-hole punch loose leaf kind of pages. The Harn World, Harn Magic, Harn Barbarian, all that kind of stuff. I kind of prefer the non-loose leaf things, but is there anything else interesting? Oh, so my Goodman Games reprint of Classic Adventures. Those are pretty cool. They've got the Old Adventure and the 5th edition version of them. Various other stuff. Let's see, I think these guys here are my Aries magazines with games, Wreck of the Pandora, things like that. So on these two new shelves, we managed to put some of the old stuff that we hadn't unpacked yet. A lot of this is computer books, so I'll tell a little bit about that in a second, but we did find, computer. Okay, so there's some game stuff up here, and I'm excited. The middle shelves, when you stack these, normally there's 3 folding shelves, and on the top, you can put taller stuff that normally, nice tall atlases and other things. But when you stack them, the lower unit, that top shelf is shrunk. And so it won't fit normal sized, good hardback books or, Dungeons and Dragons boxes. You need to stick your paperbacks in there. One nice thing about the paperbacks, though, these are actually double shelved. If you can see back there's more. There's like 2 rows of paperback books there, so I can pack those in tight. So, computer books. These are all game design, computer books. There's only a few generic, object-oriented analysis and design, pattern design, etc. Most of it's game-oriented. I used to be a game developer back in the 90s. You see that Avatar Software Game Pack 6-pack? That was my prototype back in the 90s. I wonder if I can get in there one-handed. Oh yeah, let's see here. Here it is. You can see that through that shrink wrap. Game 6-pack, 1996, Avatar Software. It was Avatar Games, the game division of Avatar. It was me, freelance, Mike Anthony. This was coded in Visual Basic. I'm not going to try to one-handedly stuff that back in there, but yeah, Visual Basic. I used a VB toolkit with nice 3D graphics for all the user face. And it wasn't just like the typical 3D shadowed stuff that you were seeing at the time. This was like, I bought the green marble and gray marble set. Very nice user interfaces. It was a set of card games, some tile matching, other stuff. Ran out of money working as a freelancer. This was the time where like Doom was released to share, was really big, but everyone else on share was like nickel and dime stuff. You couldn't really make a living at it. And the big games out there were like Command and Conquer and Warcraft 2. We're talking huge budgets. So you had to join like a nice big game company, get on a AAA game. And yeah, I didn't have the skill set. I had the skill set for doing my own thing, but I never got it. I did take it with me when I went to the Computer Game Developer Conference in Santa Clara that year, but yeah. Anyway, so we have a wide variety of networking and MMO books. Some of you might recognize the name Bartle. AI. I was really into AI programming. I was a sysop on the CompuServe game dev things, and we used to talk about game AI concepts, especially in terms of like space games and the problems with them not being smart enough. Games like Ascendancy and things like that, and how could we approach that? Bunch of things on game balance, game design, game testing. Let's see. Yeah, we already looked at pattern design. Some specific stuff like on iPhone programming, which I never did. Various languages from Java and Lisp and RIM and all these other weird languages. So I don't know. Most of you are probably all bored with that. Most of you don't know. But that was why I got back into board games. I had quit doing this and went back into database design, but I always wanted to get back into game programming. And when I got laid off in 2016, it was a downsize from ProQuest. When I had my severance, I was doing a lot of study of various things to upgrade my skills, and I also started to dabble back in games again. And one of the courses that I took from, probably tired of me just looking at all that stuff, and maybe I don't know. Hey, we'll go outside and show you the nice lawn furniture that my wife got all set up. But anyway, so I was saying about game programming and coursework, and I was studying things like Java and game design. The Rochester Institute of Technology had a nice program, bachelor's and master's degree, which of course I wasn't going to attend, living in Washington State, but they had some like continuing ed type courses through EDX, and I was taking that set of courses with a known game designer, Ian Schreiber, and basically I got convinced that one of the best ways to prototype computer games is to do paper and pen, do them on paper and actually prototype them first that way. And they had some course on the history of board games and all that, so I got back into my board game stuff that I used to do. I actually ran a Playboy Mail game business, pencil and paper, snail mail, back in the 80s. That's when I first called myself Avatar Games. I'm sure none of you heard of them. There was a proof of concept. There was maybe a dozen people played that I knew. I also, in high school, did my own role-playing game. And I did various... I don't have most... I think I mentioned one that I did. Let's talk about the States of Siege. I need to find those maps. I kept all the maps, or most of them. I don't have the rules. I do have stuff for one of the Playboy Mail games that I had. I'm doing it again. I'm just focusing on the books. So anyway, I should finish this up here. So I will try to find those maps and maybe some of the stuff I did for my Playboy Mail game. And you want to enjoy the spiral staircase? Go up on the deck, look out there. Anyway, so this is definitely Meandering Mike, Meander, in the Man Cave of Madness. There's not only RPGs and board games and war games, and we have some war game design books here. You can see those, George Phillies and other stuff. Yeah, there's some other ones. There's somewhere Lou Pulsifer's design book right there. And others. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits now. It's almost 10 minutes. I rambled on at least 5 minutes more than I really planned on. I'm going to head down to the other house and load up another approximately 18 Bankers box worth of books and see if I can get the last 2 shelves out of there. So, until next time, take care and enjoy.